Hey guys, it is Nick here with another Nick's Topics Dragon Ball What If topic video for you guys today. And today we are getting into part 6 of What If Nam Became a Z Fighter. Now, to recap the last episode before we dive into the introduction of the Saiyan Saga, we see Nam in place of Hero because Kami didn't feel that his presence was required since Nam, Tien, and Goku were pretty much all more than strong enough to beat Piccolo. We see Nam one-shotting Piccolo Jr. out of the ring, similar to what he did to Tien when they first met in the preliminaries of the previous tournament. After waking up, realizing he lost, because this was a strong strike, enough to knock him out, unlike Tien. Now, after waking up, Piccolo Jr. immediately wants to kill someone, but with everyone stronger than him, he can't do anything and just flies off, vowing revenge. Similar to what Tien did, except more violently, so to speak. Afterwards, the end of the 23rd World Tournament plays out as you would expect, with the end results being Goku and Chi-Chi being married and Gohan still being born. Now, last time I discussed that while Tien and Nam would be around Goku most of the time, Nam especially, Tien and Nam have built up a rivalry ever since Nam one-shotted Tien in the 22nd tournament preliminaries. So they're off training together more times than not to understand each other and actually train together for the most part. Another side note, since pretty much every tournament so far has covered enough money for food, water, and materials for Nam's village, Nam hasn't felt the need to go back, because he pretty much promised himself he was going to train with Goku and be an actual fighter of Earth like everybody else. But he still does visit the village from time to time because his people are there, his family, who he grew up with. So naturally, he's going to want to go back there and visit if he hasn't been there for a good amount of time. But anyways, with all that out of the way, we get into the start of the Raditz Saga, Saiyan Saga pretty much. Now, the build-up and introduction for Raditz plays out as you would expect up until Raditz and Piccolo meet. Now, this meeting is much more hostile than in the original because Piccolo's sheer anger at not being able to show his skills in the tournament and get his revenge. So, whenever Piccolo uses his super explosive wave on Raditz, this is a much more vengeful attack. Piccolo's going for the kill precisely here, and even though it does nothing like it did before, Piccolo is not deterred, at least not yet, because now he will show everything that he has got. He's not going to let anything stand in his way, not even this newcomer. So he throws off his turban in anger and rushes towards Raditz, using mouth beams, eye beams, ki blasts, you name it. Stretchy arm attacks, anything at Piccolo Jr.'s disposal at this point in the story, he uses everything. But sadly, even with all this and Piccolo going all out, his power level is still the same as it was in the original story at this point in time. So, while it does confuse and surprise Raditz that this green man just is so hostile towards him and that his power isn't bad to boot, it still doesn't do anything in the long run. And Raditz slowly starts to recognize this person as a Namekian, but he's not quite sure yet. He's getting onto something, but he wants to fight him for a little bit longer just to be sure, even though it really doesn't matter. He's here for Kakarot. But even though nothing's going his way yet, Piccolo Jr. still has one ace up his sleeve, his giant form, which he immediately turns to when he's put on the back foot. Now, at this point, Raditz is actually a little bit surprised. And at this point, he's definitely positive that this guy's a Namekian. Whatever confusion or doubt he had in his mind, this pretty much confirms it. And then he checks his scouter. The power level is over 500. And this definitely surprises Raditz. He didn't expect this, even from a Namekian on Earth. But he doesn't want this to cloud his judgment and continues, quote-unquote, fighting Piccolo. Now, while all this is going on, Goku, Gohan, Nam, Tien, Yamcha, Krillin, everybody else is at Kame House because this was the day where they were going to all meet, and you probably know the rest of this part of the story if you pay attention to Dragon Ball. Now, whenever everybody gets there and all is said and done, Goku picks up on something. First, he senses Piccolo. His power is over the roof, and he's clearly fighting someone. Then he senses the other power, and his heart skips a beat. This power it's insane. More so than he even thought. It's even greater than Piccolo's, and Piccolo's is even higher than it was at the tournament. And he wants to go check this out for himself. Now, Tien and Nam, even though they were just going to go whether Goku asked them to or not, Goku still asks them to come along just in case this other power is like a bad guy or something. He doesn't know anything yet. So Nam and Tien accompany Goku, along with Yamcha, who I feel would be at Kame House at this point in time. Now, there was a thing where Yamcha and Bulma were having a little bit of problems, so to speak, at this point in the story, but I feel that Yamcha would be at Kame House nonetheless for training to catch up with everyone else. Krillin also would naturally be there, so he would accompany the group as well. So, we have a 5-man team accompanying Goku, well, 4-man team and accompanying Goku to go and see what's going on. So, I bet you guys are going to be really surprised with how this goes. Now, Piccolo, at this point, has reverted to his normal state, and he's definitely starting to get angry at this point. He's used everything at his disposal, even his giant form, and it's just not doing anything. He finally had the chance to show off everything at his disposal, and then this new guy just makes him look weak. It's just like the tournament all over again, except this time he actually gets to do something. And even after he starts using his super explosive wave, pretty much killing moves that he would have used in the tournament, it's just nothing. And he begins to slowly get tired and fall down. But just before Raditz uses his double Sunday, the move he was initially going to use on Piccolo when they first met, just before he was able to use the move, he's attacked by Goku. Now, this not only surprises Piccolo, because he didn't expect Goku or any of his friends to help him, but it surprises Raditz, because yeah, he came to Earth looking for his brother, but he didn't expect him to fight him out of nowhere and attack him like that. And after Raditz questions this, Raditz and Goku have a conversation. And this is the point in the story where Raditz would basically appear at Kame House, tell him who he is, and blah, blah, blah. Pretty much that's what happens here, except it's different circumstances because Goku's the one who came to him. So, and also Gohan isn't there, so we can't really hold him at hostage point. And Raditz basically tells the backstory of him, the Saiyans, and that he is Goku's brother. Now Nam, along everybody else, is very surprised and yet not surprised. Well, they're surprised that this guy's Goku's brother, but they're not surprised that Goku's a Saiyan, because they obviously knew that he was from a different planet. There is no way that the power that Goku has achieved would make him an Earthling. There's just no way. And even Nam picks up on this. But one person that does not care, you guessed it, is Piccolo, who is just, he doesn't know what to think at this point. He is angry, confused, and he's just shouts out, "Are you guys mocking me or something? I'm standing right here and you're just having a conversation about your backstory. I don't care about any of that. I'm the one that you are fighting here. Now either leave or fight me." And with that said, Piccolo, despite being very injured and tired, rushes at Raditz. And this is the point where the fight starts to pick up. Now suffice it to say, even though Piccolo is injured, tired, and completely worn out, with him, Goku, Nam, Yamcha, Krillin, and Tien all fighting Raditz at the exact same time, and with everybody's growth, Raditz is pretty much screwed. Yeah, there is absolutely no way that he can win. And soon enough, that becomes clear. And with Raditz's dying words, he threatens the group, especially his brother, that 2 more Saiyans will be to the planet in 1 year's time and avenge his death. And there's no mention of Dragon Balls here because no one's died. And also Gohan is not present, he's at Kame House. Now, even though there's no mention of Dragon Balls, as I've mentioned in other stories, my other 2, I still feel that Vegeta and Nappa would go to Earth regardless, not only to see the strength of Goku and everybody else, but to pretty much avenge Raditz in some way, shape, or form. They didn't really care about him, but just to see, who was strong enough to beat Raditz, per se. Afterwards, the group is left to ponder this, when suddenly, Goku gets a telepathic message from Kami, stating that he wants everyone at the lookout, and that he has an idea for more special training that they might need for the Saiyans. That's where we're going to be leaving things for the moment. So what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like the direction of which the Raditz fight played out? What do you think is going to happen going into the Nappa and Vegeta arc and the fights going forward? Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.